It's time to turn that great idea you have into a reality, and you can do that with Squarespace. They make it easier than ever to launch your passion project, whether you're showcasing your work or selling products of any kind. They have beautiful templates and the ability to customize just about anything, so you can make a beautiful website all by yourself. But if you do get stuck, they have 24/7 award-winning customer support that is there to help. So head to squarespace.com/grace for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code GRACE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Hello and welcome to another episode of Not Too Deep. I'm your host, Grace Helbig. Very exciting episode ahead. We have ARIELLE Vandenberg and Matt Cutshall with us, two hilarious comedians, content creators, and two people that have that classic romance of being best friends and watching each other date people for almost a decade before realizing that they're perfect for each other, are now currently engaged to each other. That classic Hollywood tale. We learn all about coming from the world of dance and the world of music out to Los Angeles and their entire comedic trajectory. We also learn about their new podcast and the fact that Arielle has some privacy issues in the Southern Hemisphere. You'll hear all about it. Enjoy this week's episode with Arielle Matt. I'm so excited that you guys are here. I want to know so many things about you guys, but one thing I do like to ask people that are, I guess, hyphenated in their jobs is, what's your deal? How do you describe what you guys do to someone who doesn't know?
What's your deal? You go first.
Well, I would like to call myself an actress first and foremost, but I mean, I haven't done an acting job in years, so I don't know if I claim actor as my profession. I guess I'm a content creator. I make content for myself. I make content for brands. And then I would like to call myself a comedian. I feel like that's like a strong claim, but you know, I think I'm funny sometimes.
Well, the thing is, I mean, you are a comedian because you create comedy videos.
I'm hilarious.
That millions of people watch.
I'm a comedian.
You know, it's funny because
actually that's what I want my title to be, like straight up.
You're
Arielle Vandenberg, comedian.
But isn't that weird? Because I have the same thing where I get very kind of insecure about just outright saying like I'm a comedian, and I don't know why I'm so like sensitive about that for myself. But it's like, yeah, you're producing lols. Yeah, that's what a comedian does.
And you are too. So like we can just call ourselves comedians. You know, I think that like the weird part about saying that is because you're never nobody the only people that say they're funny are not funny people. So
very true.
I never want to be like, well, I'm just kind of funny because like that person isn't funny usually. So
totally. But I totally get it.
Yeah. And also it's hard to claim being a stand-up comedian when you've only done it like 10 times in your life. So
you did a good job though.
I did a great job.
There you go.
I'll never forget that.
If I just said I did a great job, does that mean I did a horrible job? You go.
No, you did a great job. And for myself, you know, kind of similar answer. I'm a content creator. You know, I make content for myself and for brands, and that kind of, you know, creating content online just turned into me becoming an online comedian. So I guess that's essentially, I'm a comedian too. We're comedians. We're all comedians here.
We're all just a bunch of comedians.
We got there.
I'm also a bodybuilder.
See, there's all these hyphenations. You guys have all of it. So you guys, take me back to when you guys started out in Los Angeles. I also would love to find out, because you guys are engaged as a relationship couple. Do you remember the first time you met each other? And I'm curious if you guys have different points of view on that experience.
I don't remember it. Okay, go.
No, you actually do.
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay, I was gonna say, do you know our story that we tell?
Yes.
Well, you are a good actor.
See, cutie, I told you I'm an actress.
Amazing.
Why don't I get hired?
So the very brief story is, so I moved in LA in 2006. I met her just a few months later. I met you at the very beginning of 2007.
Yep.
I was really close with one of my friends, Riley, and she took me to her friend's house, because we were all gonna like pregame before we go out. Her friend's house was her then boyfriend. So it was us. So it was me, my friend Riley, Arielle, and her boyfriend, and that's how we met.
Yeah.
Wow.
We obviously, we definitely like hit it off that night and had a good time. But
not hit it off like,
not
oh,
like
I
that.
like you guys. Like
No,
I left that night being like, I think I have a new best friend. Like I was so happy.
Totally. Like we
typical girl.
Yeah, we became friends immediately, but not to the point where we exchanged numbers and started hanging out. We started hanging out kind of like a couple years later. But yeah, it was just a random night where I met her, through my friend, and that's
fun.
it. Yeah.
But I like that it was so pure that you were like, we're best friends now. This is sweet. And then cut to how many years later is that? 14 years later or something?
Yeah, well, we started dating 3 years ago.
Wow.
We started dating 3 years ago?
Yeah, because we just had our 3-year thing.
So we were
What's that called? Anniversary.
we had our 3-year thing. Yeah. What is that thing called? Oh yeah, you're right. So we've been dating for 3 years, and engaged for 8 months, maybe.
Wow.
Something around there.
So cool. So okay. So what's without being, you don't have to be too detailed. What's the step in taking it from friendship to relationship? What did one
Intercourse.
person?
You got to intercourse it.
Yeah,
you
just intercourse.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard
Could you
rumors,
imagine
but
that?
No, honestly, like if I could simplify that answer, it'd just be that timing. Like timing is so big with anything that has to do with relationships, I feel like, but especially with us because I had boyfriend after boyfriend after boyfriend. Oh God. And then, he was single the whole time waiting, but I'm kidding. Oh, cutie. That was a joke. Did that just hurt you?
I'm hurt.
She was like, oh my God.
My heart's stinging.
So like we both were in relationships on and off for the whole time we were best friends. And
wow.
And then when we were both, in our 30s and realizing like, oh my God, you were right there this whole time. Well, that's for me kind of what happened.
It's such a movie moment situation.
Dude, I'm living a fairy tale because what's so crazy? I always thought, no, I can't because everyone would always ask me like, are you and Matt ever going to date? Or are you guys dating secretly and whatever?
Yeah.
And I was always like, no, I wanted my fairy tale to be that this Parisian man was going to sweep me off my feet, whatever. But I didn't realize that the fairy tale that I really wanted was that I was going to end up with my best friend. And that's so cool. And now that's my fairy tale. I don't want to not understand my Parisian boyfriend. I'd rather be talking to you all the time.
It is funny. I am seen amongst my friends who are getting older like me and now in our 30s. They are actually ending up with friends. They're ending up with people who were their close friends back then and not just someone random that they met on an app. So I feel like in our 20s is just being young, enjoying LA and all the hundreds of thousands of similar people like you and just enjoying dating around. But I think that what really matters the most is someone that you love to death, connect with, and I think marrying your best friend is just the dream come true.
I mean, that's the coolest fucking thing. Look at you guys. I mean, but also, I'm sure as soon as you start making it public, an audience is like, no shit, you guys. We've been watching this happen the whole time.
Our own best friends were like, yeah, duh. And we were like, oh. But no, it's so cool. And honestly, timing was really it because we just needed to be in that same exact moment at the same exact time and go,
totally.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
And it takes some courage because you have to take the risk, right? Because it's a best friend that you're like, if this doesn't work out,
that was my whole thing is I either try with Matt, but there's no trying when you're that close. We literally hung out every day. So you don't try with someone like that. You either get married to them or you never talk to them ever again. Or you stay best friends.
Those are your only options. Yeah.
I can't just casually date him. He would know that I'm dating other people if you can't do that. So I was like, I'm either all in on this or or we just stay friends. And I'm so glad I let myself do what my heart told me to do, because now we're engaged, and I've never had a relationship that's been so like trusting and he's the most helpful. You're my person.
Oh,
You're my person.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
like-
sweet.
I like the
And I
view.
mean,
I like the blue.
you guys have been, you've been best friends for so long. So it's like the hardest part of the relationship, the friendship, you already had down to like a
Totally.
T. I want to go back a little bit before you guys, or like right when you guys were coming to Los Angeles. Arielle, you were a dancer, and Matt, you were a singer.
Yeah, I mean,
Were you in a boy band of some sort?
yes.
Made it sound
Okay.
like I'm like a stripper.
I would, no,
I'm not a
I
stripper.
said, no, I was saying yeah when she said dancer. I was like, I don't
I
know,
was
did
like,
she have
kind of.
some shit I don't know
No,
about?
I did. Yes, keep going.
Okay.
I'll go back to my stripping
yes,
days. Okay.
I moved to LA for all of entertainment business, but I really wanted to be a musician, so I started a
Okay.
band and toured in a band for the first like 4 or 5 years of being in LA. So that's what I originally came to LA for.
Wow. What was the premise, and like, how did you start the band? Did you just find a group of friends and was like, this is it, here we go?
Kind of. So I had.
It
So
is- I'm like, how do you start a band? I
well,
gotta
I'll t-
explore some other options right now.
it's honestly, it was so fun, and some of the best times of my life was touring with these guys. I'm from Portland, Oregon. 2 of my best friends, Judah and Duck, are also from Portland, Oregon, and they're brothers. They played
Judah
in
and Duck. Okay.
Judah and Duck. They
Very
played
cool.
in bands literally since they were probably like 11 years old. Like they were in like cover bands, and they were just really good musicians.
Okay.
I had this idea. I was like, hey guys, I'm moving to LA, and I really think that we have a shot at starting like a kind of like a punk rock pop, boy band, like a fusion band. And they're like, we're
Okay.
so down. They moved to LA with me, and then we had to find 2 other people to fill guitar and bass. And we
Okay.
just started reaching out to people, like just our friends, and say, hey, do you or any of your friends know a really good guitarist or good bassist? So we scouted for the other 2 guys, and then we formed our band, and then we all just started like pitching in money and recording. And I mean, we did it from the ground up. Very like, okay,
Cool.
what are we gonna name our band? What are we gonna sound like? How can we work with bigger people? And I think how we really got lucky is our first song we recorded ended up being big on MySpace. So
Oh, yes.
yeah.
MySpace, the golden years of
the
music.
golden years of music. So
Totally. Tila tequila.
yeah, so we had this song called Miss Hollywood that was just super fun and catchy, and a lot of like the scene girls on MySpace were posting it on their profiles, calling themselves Miss Hollywood. And
Oh,
so
great.
we ended up getting millions of plays on there, and then everyone started having interest from producers and writers and other people who wanted to work with us, and that kind of got us really moving. But
Cool.
it's obviously it's hard work, and we had to write the song, but it is a little bit of that luck where it's like we got lucky that one song hit at the right time.
Totally. When was there a dramatic disbanding of the band when you all went in separate ways? Or was it kind of like a natural dissolving, like we're all doing different things now?
So it's actually,
Or is
It's
it still
actually-
going? Are you guys
No,
still, are you still
no.
performing?
I was gonna say it's actually a pretty traumatizing story. Not really, but like not really,
Uh-oh.
What
but
an aggressive word to use.
no. To me, it
You
was
mean it's dramatic,
no,
not traumatizing.
no. I was traumatized because
Okay.
all I wanted to do was be a successful
True.
musician, and
Ah.
and we were right there. So this long story short would be, we were on the rise, getting on bigger tours. One of our songs hit radio. We
Uh-huh.
started climbing the charts on radio, and then we started getting multiple label offers from bigger labels because we were signed to an indie label.
Gotcha.
And then we had 2 big offers. One was really, really good, and we wanted to go with that one. Our label, our indie label, was started getting like all greedy and like, holy shit, like, no, we're gonna wait for literally $1 million deal. Back then, that wasn't happening. Like, people weren't
Wow.
signing for $1 million unless you were Drake. I think Drake did $1 million deal, and LFO, oh, not LFO, LFMO.
LFMAO.
You know
Oh,
the
yeah.
song Party Rock, Party
Yes.
Rock.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
LMFAO?
LMFAO.
Yes.
LMFAO.
LMFAO.
Yeah.
So like massive acts were being signed for that. Our label was like, we're gonna wait for that. We're like,
Mhm.
we're not there, dude. We're on the
Oh.
rise. You have to let us upstream to another label. Long story short, they said no. They said we're gonna wait for
Wow.
a better deal. They wouldn't fund us anymore. They wouldn't give us money for tour. So we sat on this label that wouldn't let us upstream,
Shelved.
and we were shelved.
Dang.
And I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Like,
Because you're like locked in a contract
Yeah.
with these people that wouldn't let you leave, and it's just
Oof.
so shitty.
yeah,
Yeah, that
we couldn't
sucks.
get on bigger tours. We couldn't pay for bigger tours because you do have
It's
to pay
so
to get on them.
discouraging.
And our album that we had spent a lot of money on and time was now like a last year thing, and it just slowly started dissolving like that. So there was never like a we break up, we're done with this. We were literally on the way, and then our label just held us, and we couldn't go any further.
Dang.
So
that
that's what's
sucks.
yeah. So I always
That-
wonder. I just it makes me wonder what could have happened. Like
Right.
I'm a really hard worker, and if I put my mind into stuff, I know I can make it happen. So in my mind, I'm like, shit, I would be a touring artist right now.
But I mean, optimistically speaking, I feel like you guys both have the very much like hard work ethic where like you have created opportunities for yourself because things like labels and things like, Hollywood have gatekeepers that keep you from being able to do everything you want to do. So
That's
if
true.
anything, I feel like that might have helped strengthen you guys in going to like, because you went from there to like to Vine and that whole world that just fostered a community of like creatives doing their own thing.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh,
Whoa.
what the?
Uh-oh.
That was
Frick.
weird.
It's
Totally, yeah.
happening.
My
You're
God.
becoming one.
Freaky
We
Friday.
are becoming one. It's not good. No, but you're right. I truly believe in that. I believe that, like, I was brought to where I am now for a reason. Things just weren't they didn't work out for a reason, and it's totally fine.
Totally.
And yeah, I'm happy with where I am now. But it is kind of crazy, like the twists and turns that Hollywood throws at you, because
Yeah.
most people move here for one thing, end up doing another. That might
Mhm.
not work out, and then they end up way over here. It's very strange.
Very strange. Also, is there an opportunity for the band to get back together at the wedding?
Oh my God.
Is there?
That's not a bad idea.
No. No, I'm kidding. No, that would actually be hilarious.
I
You
mean,
know
I'm
what's
just
funny?
throwing it out there. I think
I-
it could be a great moment.
I am
If-
down.
No joke. If I had more time on my hands than I do now, I would literally take the time to get the band back together, practice, and actually just do a reunion show, like a one-time reunion show, and release maybe a song. Like it's still a passion. I love doing music. It's just so much damn work to get it off
Yeah.
the ground that getting us back together would be pretty tough.
Totally. And Arielle, you came from not specifically dance, but you have dance in your background. And was that what
Yes.
you were like looking towards when you got here? Or you came to Los Angeles, you wanted to act?
No, okay. So I did ballet and like danced my whole life growing up. And through high school and stuff like that. But that's what kind of made me want to be like a performer. I always kind of thought like, oh, I'll go off and do I wanted to go be in a company and like maybe move to New York and be in a ballet company,
cool.
but I was so tall and all the ballerinas were way shorter and way lighter than me. And like, I was like, okay, I'm not going to compete with like this stick. Like they're so tiny,
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I was small, but I was taller. And so I was just like, okay, what else can I do? Okay, I'm going to be a backup dancer. So I like honestly thought I wanted to like backup dance for Britney or
Hell
like,
yeah.
or people like that. I was like, that would be so fun to go on tour. I actually thought about that a lot. But my main thing that I really wanted to do was be on SNL. Like that was my, I was obsessed with Jim Carrey. I was like obsessed with Martin Lawrence, like all the, like all the like Mad TV, In Living Color, freaking SNL people. I was obsessed with all of that. And I was like, okay, I really want to do something like that. But I think my idea of that was, okay, go to LA and get into improv classes, which is exactly what I did when I was around 17, 18. I started going to improv classes, going to groundlings and all those things. But obviously doing that doesn't pay anything.
No,
You're
in fact, you
paying
have to pay out of pocket to do that. It's
a
crazy.
lot. Yeah. And I literally moved to LA with $0. So I started modeling because I was like, okay, those are jobs that you can get a little bit easier than acting jobs. So I started modeling, doing like catalog work and just saving my money, and started going to improv classes and really trying towards that.
Yeah.
And it was a lot it was obviously a lot harder than I thought to get to a place where you're even in like the writing lab class of Groundlings. I don't know if you
Right.
did that stuff, but
No, I did stuff in New York, but yeah, I know what you mean, where it's like you have to work and pay so much to just get a seat at a table that
Yeah.
might be kind of near a table that everyone else is at, but you don't know for sure. It's crazy.
Exactly. So like I was in this weird place where I was like, okay, it's been 5 years that I'm doing improv now, like, and I've done nothing with improv. Okay. So
Yeah.
I got an agent and a manager for acting randomly. Like, it sounds sketchy, but it wasn't. I met this manager at Coffee Bean. He like comes up to me. I was probably 18 years old. I'm at Coffee Bean, and I was commuting from San Diego to LA, like just to go to auditions. So I would sit at Coffee Bean and wait for traffic to be over because I would just drive after traffic.
Right.
So I was sitting at Coffee Bean. This like old man comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, are you an actress?" And I was very aware of everything. Like I knew if someone was being creepy, I knew if someone was like trying to hit on me, whatever. This dude just wanted to like work with me. I could tell because I had the opposite where they're like, "Hey, you an actress?" I'm like, "Get away from me."
Totally.
There's that side of it. This guy was like this sweet old man. He was like, "Are you an actress? Because you should be." And I was like, "Wow, I would love to be an actress." Yeah. And so I told my mom, and then my mom hit him up. And anyways, I started working with this random guy from freaking Coffee Bean. He like worked out of his house. I never went to his house. It never was like weird. He just would give me auditions. My first audition from him was for the OC. So I was like, "Oh, you're legit." And like I went and read for, oh my God, I'm blanking on. No. It was way into the series, like series 12. I was like auditioning for Misha Barton's little sister's best friend or something, like something stupid like that.
Still legit.
Still legit. Because I auditioned for, oh my God, I'm blanking on the creator's name, and that's bad because I love him. Oh my God, anyways, doesn't matter. So I auditioned for him, and I was like, this is big stuff, So anyways, and I just kind of went from there and just started acting and fell in love with acting and wanted to do stand up. And I don't know. I feel like I'm at a point now where SNL would be really cool to do, but I'm now not wanting to move to New York as much as I thought I would when I was in my 20s.
Oh, yeah.
So-
all of Hollywood has changed dramatically. And you guys are doing really cool stuff right now that's taking up a lot of your time that I'm going to ask you about after we take this quick break. So
Love
we'll be right back with more Not Too Deep.
Not too deep. With Grace Helbig.
I believe it is about time to turn that dream into a reality with Squarespace. They make it easier than ever to launch your passion project. Whether you're looking to start a new business, showcase your work, publish content, sell products, or more, Squarespace is the tool for you with beautiful templates created by world-class designers and the ability to customize just about anything with a few clicks. You can easily make a beautiful website all by yourself. Plus, they have a powerful e-commerce functionality that lets you sell anything online and analytics that help you grow your site in real time. Everything is optimized for mobile right out of the box. There's nothing to patch or upgrade ever, whatever that means. Buying domains is super simple, and you can get all the help that you need with Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support. They empower millions of people, from designers to lawyers to artists to gamers, restaurants, gyms, and now you. So head to squarespace.com/grace for a free trial, and when you are ready to launch, use the offer code GRACE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/grace, offer code GRACE. Well, okay, let's talk about where you guys are at now and what you're working on. One, you guys have a podcast together, which is really sweet because it's a feat to be dating someone and engaged to someone in Hollywood, but then to also continuously work together. Like, great
all
job.
we do.
You know what's crazy? We do everything together. That is crazy.
But
that's
it's
crazy.
really-
It is so crazy.
But like, good for you. Have you guys developed a set of like tools or skills to understand like when you've either crossed the line on like a creative idea, or like has it just always been pretty symbiotic of you guys working together?
To be honest, I feel like it's been very easy to work together because we do have the same humor.
Yeah.
And we both add to each other's skits and ideas and creative. So we've never really had an issue on the creative side, like, which is honestly shocking because I'm a very independent person, you're a very independent person, but we just I don't know, we collab pretty well.
Yeah.
That's great. So where did the podcast idea come from?
I had a podcast called The Only Child, and I was doing that right before I started Love Island. So like 2 years ago? No way. Yeah. A year and a half ago, I had this podcast, and I realized that every episode that I liked doing was when he was my guest. And so I was like, we just had so much fun. And I had a co-host on there too. His name is Lo, and he's so funny and so amazing. But whenever Matt was on, it was just like the most fun episodes for everybody. So I was like, and then at home, you can do a podcast from home. So it's like, it's another creative outlet that we were like, okay, we've done Instagram, we're on Twitter, we do YouTube. Let's do a podcast like everybody else. Like literally, like everyone's doing podcasts, but who cares? You can do it from the comfort of your own home. We bought all the gear, and
and
so
like
it's
for
so
you
fun.
guys, for you guys especially, because you create so much stuff that's edited that it must be nice to be able to have just an unedited conversation with each other without worrying
So
about
fun.
like.
And we don't like cuss on our Instagrams. We're pretty family friendly. I can't even talk.
Yeah.
Family friendly.
It's like your body's rejecting that idea of
I'm
family friendly.
I'm family friendly. So we don't cuss on there, and I just like let loose on my podcast where I'm like fuck this, like always. It's probably not the best thing, but
you're more free to be yourself and not really care, like, because the thing is, we do have to watch, for our brand partnerships that we have, you have to watch what you say and like how you don't want to cuss too much. You don't want to like have too like risque of humor.
Yeah.
So it's fun to just kind of like be ourselves on our podcast and just do our thing.
And you guys have each other's back, so it's nice to be able to have like someone else's point of view on things and be like, was I being too much that episode?
Oh, we do that all the time. I'm like, you should probably cut that part out.
Let's talk about Love Island. Congratulations. This is so cool.
Thank you.
And so for people that don't know, you're the host of the US version of Love Island.
Yeah.
So cool. What was that whole experience, that process like?
Okay. It was awesome. I got called in for this freaking show that I had heard about and I had never seen it. And I remember being like, Love Island. Okay. So I went on Hulu or something, wherever they play the UK version. The UK version is huge. And I watched it and I was like, dude, this show is bananas. And I'm like, I need to book this. And so I ended up, I'm so glad I booked the job. I went to Fiji, was there for about, I think like 7 weeks or something.
Wow.
I don't know. Every time I say it, I'm always like 9 weeks, 10 weeks. I don't remember how, 7, 6. I don't know.
I mean,
we were there for a long time.
7 weeks.
So went to Fiji. It's so funny.
nuts.
Like, it's so cool meeting the whole cast all the people that got cast in it, all the islanders. And
Oh yeah. So
it's
for
just-
people that don't or might not be familiar with the show, how do you describe it?
so it's if I was to describe it, not CBS, it's honestly like a romantic comedy reality show. It's and
True.
not
Very, very
only because it's not just like meet the love of your life potentially. It's like people become best friends on this island. It's a dating show in in theory, but it's like it's 5 single girls, 5 single guys. They meet on an island. They have to basically couple up with each other. They sleep in the same bed from night one. If you're coupled up with someone, you sleep in the bed with them. It's like, it sounds really intense.
Keep in mind too, they don't have cell phones, they don't have TV,
Right.
they don't have movies.
They only have each
so
other.
they only have time to get to know each other. And
Wow.
that's what's so cool about it, is like they become absolute best friends.
Yeah.
Or they get in a relationship where they fall in love because all you have is time to invest in one another, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. It's a bonkers like social experiment for everyone, especially
Yeah.
because we're so dialed in and tied to every ounce of Wi-Fi that we can get.
Yeah.
When you're like stripped of all of that and have
Yeah.
to like communicate as a human
I-
being.
Well,
I fell in love with 3 of the Islanders.
I did too.
You did?
I did too. Yes.
Oh my god.
And honestly, no, but no joke. The best part, I got hooked. Like obviously,
Yeah.
like I was there with her and I was watching like what was happening live, and I got hooked. And suddenly, everyone is suddenly coupled up, and things are smooth and going great. And they're like, "I love you too." Then they drop off 3 more hotties on the beach
Yeah.
who come
Oh,
in.
shit.
and
and
screw it
and,
all
and everyone's like,
up.
"Oh shit, there's more hot girls and hot guys." It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
What was the wildest thing that happened this past season?
I think like
I'm sure there's just so much to process.
there's so
still.
many like dramatic
Something happened.
moments.
No, Weston did something.
Oh, he was always doing something.
I know, but Weston did something that everyone was pissed about. What was that?
No, I think no. Well, wait. Oh God, good question.
I'm having flashbacks right now.
I am too. I think like the craziest thing that like the most drama that actually happened was there was a guy on there named Yemen. And I love a Yemen. He was so cute. He was so funny. He's like so charming. And he had like 3 girls that all really liked him. And none of them knew that the other one liked them. And then it was just like this whole thing. And then that blew up in his face. And then like the people like hated him. And I'm like, no, he's actually like amazing. But people started getting super mad at him because he was like playing all these chicks. And I'm like, that's what the show's for.
Right,
So
right.
That's probably the most drama that really happened. I mean, this one girl came in and she was like, how dare you do this to me? Remember Alana?
Yes,
She, like-
yes. Because she fell in love with Yemen.
Ooh. Yeah. Anyway, so
Oh.
yeah, there's some.
Tough, but it's also like your job must be so hard to not get too emotionally attached
Oh.
to everyone.
I cried when
Really?
when the first guy left, when Michael left.
Yeah.
I was like, Michael, your time on the island is over. And the producer's in my ear and she's like, are you crying? And I was like, oh. I was like, you're crying. But the reason why is because it was our first elimination or like kicking someone off. And I was nervous as a host. I was nervous because technically we're live. You know what I mean? Like we are shooting everything. It's not like, hey, cut, let's do
Right.
that. It's like he is sad that he's leaving. So I'm standing next to this crying person who's not fake crying. And I'm just like, okay, I have to tell him. Oh God, it was hard.
Oh, that's devastating.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a reality show that the 2 of you guys would compete on together?
Ooh, like
That
the
we
Amazing
compete on?
Race or something.
Yeah, like Amazing
Oh.
Race, like Survivor, like Supermarket Sweep, any that like really you guys would dominate on.
I would dominate on Dancing with the Stars.
There you go.
I want
that's
to
a good
so
one.
bad. And my friend, do you know Caitlin Bristow?
Yeah, she was
So-
supposed to podcast with us today, but she just got Dancing with the Stars, and
Dude,
yeah,
oh
her
my God,
schedule's
I just
gotten a
got
little busy.
full body chills. I'm so excited. I'm like, I love when, because I'm friends with Derek Huff. We are. And so watching him, you want him to win, but since he's not on it anymore, I'm like,
Yeah.
now I have like a reason to watch. I'm like, Caitlin has to freaking win this shit. Oh, I'm so excited. So I would love to be on Dancing with the Stars, but also we could do the Amazing Race. I'm not going to eat snails or anything, but
I would love to do that show with you. That'd be so fun.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you guys would have a great time doing it because you know
I
how
would
some couples
die if
go
I would
on?
be. If I was
Yeah.
on Survivor, I would die.
Yeah, you would not survive.
I don't think I'd
We
be.
were-
I
we-
couldn't even go camping.
We went camping for
for
2
2
nights
Oh,
and you
yeah.
couldn't survive.
Okay, how was camping? This was an attempt to just kind of like get away from the world for a little bit and like decompress. But
Yeah.
was it okay?
It was fun. So I for years, literally years, I've been wanting to get a rooftop tent for my Jeep. It's
Oh,
been like
nice.
my dream. I'm like, the second I saw them come out with those, I was like, I need to have one. So obviously, it's expensive to get the rack and the tent, and I kind of like just waited for the right moment to actually like spend on that and like gift
Right.
myself. I did that a few months ago, and then the pandemic hit, and I'm like, there's no better time to leave town than right now. So we're like,
Mhm.
let's get out of here. We drove to Utah. We had friends come from Boulder, Colorado, so we kind of met in the middle.
Oh,
And
nice.
when I say we went off grid, we were on the top of a mountain where there weren't trails anymore. Like my Jeep got stuck a couple times, and we had it was like we went off grid to where we just didn't see anybody, and it was.
But weirdly, we had service.
At the top of the mountain, we had
I
service.
was like kind of bummed because I'm like, oh well, we'll go up there. We won't have service. You know, you get up there and I'm just on Instagram the whole time. I'm hiking, trying to show my top
challenged.
abs.
Yeah. Oh, that's very fun. But also, as soon as you get your Jeep stuck, you're like, is this how it ends for us? Was this worth it?
Yeah. Is it worth it? I mean, I want to pretend like I'm obsessed with camping. I liked it and it was fun, but I'm definitely not like, I made him bring a privacy tent for me so that I could do things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, I'm not just gonna like walk out in the middle of nowhere and dig a hole. Like, I'm not doing that.
I would honestly.
I'm gonna put it right next to the Jeep.
Here's the thing: we were in the middle of nowhere.
I don't care.
No neighbors, no houses, no people, no other campers, and she still wanted to put a privacy tent away from camp to do her business. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Just go dig a hole. No one's gonna see you.
Well, we were with our friends, and Sophia, she literally leaves for an hour. And I'm like, and she just walks back casually with like her like wipes or whatever. She's like walking back. I'm like, this bitch just went into the freaking trees and pooped, and no one's asking her about it. I'd rather be asked about it. Like, so if you see like a tent shaking around and you know I'm in there, things are happening. So that was I don't think I could have done it without a privacy tent. So girls, if you like want to try camping, legit get a privacy tent. It will change your life. I will never go camping without that luxury.
Oh, I'm with you. I just like the psychology of knowing that a snake's gonna not jump up and bite me in the butthole in a situation is a little bit more comforting.
It's not even about like bugs or snakes. It's about like someone that's like, I'm gonna sit here with a telescope and wait till I see. It's like a person from far away. Like, I think someone with a telescope's gonna see my butthole, and I don't want him to.
This speaks to some maybe Los Angeles paranoia that's been building.
I met my first manager at Coffee Bean, so
there you go. There you go. Do you guys prank each other often or attempt to?
You know, not
pranks.
Not a full-blown prank, but we do kind of mess with each other. Like, I will do things to kind of surprise her a little bit, and like we're very goofy together, and we'll kind of shock each other with being silly, but not like actual pranks.
Right. Not like a gotcha moment.
No.
Okay, that's good. Good for you guys. That'll keep it a safe and healthy relationship.
Yeah, it does.
Like, I'm so glad he doesn't like scaring me. Like, I hate being scared. And I had a boyfriend. That would scare the shit out of me like every day. And I'm like, what does that do for you? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, one time I was like, if you ever scare me again, we're done. Like, we are so done. Like, we're breaking up. And he scared me so bad that I broke up with him.
You're like, I'm true to my word. I'm communicating in the most honest way I possibly can with you right now.
So true.
That's wonderful. Okay, we're going to take one last break. When we get back, I want to hear everything that's coming up in the future, all the future camping trips, everything. We'll be right back with more Not Too Deep.
Not too deep with Grace Helbig.
Okay, before we hear about what's coming up in the future, I'm going to ask you guys the two questions I ask every single guest that is on the podcast. And the first is, who, alive or dead, would you most want to throw cold spaghetti at?
Ooh.
Throw cold spaghetti at.
Yes. And this is an answer that can change on a regular basis because you might have someone one day that you want to throw it at more than someone else another day.
I love that. It doesn't like it hurts. It's not like it hurts them.
Doesn't hurt them. And
it just
also,
is
it
like
can
awkward.
be. It's up to you what your intention is. It can be like a celebratory thing.
I know what I got mine.
Okay.
Mine would be, I want to throw cold spaghetti at the famous TikTok boys with broccoli hair.
Ooh, that's good. That's
the famous
good.
TikTok boys that have the dangly earrings and the broccoli hair, and they're all like dancing all sexy. I would love to just grab a pile of spaghetti and just throw it at them. That sounds fun.
That'd be great.
They would love that.
They would,
though.
yeah, they'd just like,
They'd be like,
okay.
like they would like use it to their advantage,
Oh,
and then
God.
you'd be like, now I want to
now
kick
I want
your ass.
Yeah.
I've only made them stronger. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Gosh, that's a good answer. I feel like I want to go with well, okay, only if Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra post any more wedding photos, I'd throw cold spaghetti at them.
There you go. Very fair.
Dude,
Are they
their
overdoing it?
No, well, they did for a long time. But I am so obsessed with like their wedding was so beautiful. I'm like,
Yeah.
can I copy your wedding? But at the same
Yeah.
time, like we saw it, you know. And she just posted another photo the other day. I was like, God, like,
How many wedding
Man.
photos
But they
are you
also-
going to post?
no, they also had like 6 weddings.
Yeah, they had a lot of celebration.
Which is freaking like my dream. I'm a celebrator of life. And so
Yeah.
like for them to be able to do that, I'm like, oh, I want that much money. That'd be sick. You know? So
Oh,
like
I love
just
it.
out of jealousy, I'd throw cold spaghetti at those 2 lovebirds.
It'd be great. I think
Yeah.
it'd be lovely.
But I also love
Okay.
them. So
No worries. Yeah, they're avid listeners of this podcast. They're going to respond immediately.
guys, hit me up. Be on our podcast.
Okay, the other question I ask every single guest is to tell us your worst pants shitting story or like a close call.
Wow, that's
how
Matt's
appropriate.
specialty.
But you can only use 3 words or 3 small phrases. So mine, so like, or a combination. Mine is college jogging front lawn.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah,
Okay. Mine is.
it's real
Oh,
bad.
God. So yours was what? Cabin jogging. Wait, yours was what?
Mine was college jogging front lawn.
Okay. Mine was cabin
Oh,
panic kitchen.
the kitchen, the place where food is made and stored. Oh,
And then
no.
if I can add a 4th in front of 3 girls. Okay, there we go.
Oh no. Oh,
Yeah.
that's like a horror film.
It really is.
God. Mine
Okay.
would be wait, so what it's like the location? No, you just say it's just words.
You can just do like small phrases or 3 words, whatever makes most sense to you.
Okay, got it. I'm gonna go with oh, God. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Germaphobe.
Okay.
I don't go in public restrooms. I don't know how to phrase that into one thing. And traffic.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I didn't do
dude.
it. Let's just get there. I didn't do it. But like it was a bad day for my rectum, let's put it that way.
Wow. Wow.
I've experienced that level of chaos in my body. So I
Yeah.
understand.
I was literally like I went to an audition and I was like, frick, I have to take the freaking 10 home. And it was at like 4 what's it called? What's the traffic hour called? Oh my God.
Rush hour?
Rush hour. I was in
Uh-huh.
rush hour traffic. More like
no, thank you.
more like rush hour, my butthole. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm the worst. I don't know why I'm being gross.
No, it's great. No, that's
don't like
those are the moments where I feel like I can have mind control over my body, and I'm like, if I just think that I can do it, I can do it, and it's
Totally.
not always the case.
Totally.
Okay, before we wrap everything up, usually when we do the podcast in person, we like to give our guests a gift for making time for us. And we usually give a personalized fortune cookie, but because we're doing it digitally, we have a digital fortune cookie for you guys that I believe Melissa is sending to you or has sent to you.
Okay, got it. Please open when Grace asks you to. Well, you just did, so
God.
here we
this
go.
is so cool.
Here we go.
Oh my
All
God.
right,
I'm
my
obsessed.
fortune cookie says,
Apartments.
sorry,
it?
we're a little too
kidding.
verklempt to get this fortune cookie written out. Maybe come back later when we're a little less verklempt.
Wow.
So we'll come back later?
That's
That's
Are you asking us to be on your podcast again? Is this your clever way of just really wanting us to be your co-hosts?
Yeah, just come back. I need people to talk to, guys. I need people to talk to. No, thank you. We like to give a little silly thing that's fun at the end. Where can people find everything that you guys are up to? And are there any major things coming up in the future? You got your podcast now. What's going on?
You can listen to our podcast. It's called Riled Up with Arielle and Matt. And then hopefully my season 2 of Love Island will be coming out shortly here, probably towards the end of the year. I mean, maybe September. I actually don't know. Hopefully I'll get those dates soon.
Cool.
CBS. And then, yeah, I'm on Instagram at Arielle or TickTok if you want to follow my dancing.
Heck yeah.
What is it? The Arielle?
Are
Yeah.
you TikTok?
I'm on
The
TikTok. The Arielle.
Honestly, I think the best way to find us, if you Google Arielle and Matt, all our stuff pops up.
Everything.
You can find all,
there.
yeah. If you
Just
Google Arielle
Google
and Matt,
me.
then you'll see our stuff. And yeah, check us out. We like we like making comedy skits. We like podcasting and having fun conversations. So we're here to entertain you guys.
Love it. Well, good luck with the wedding planning. I can't wait for the band to get back together. Very exciting things on the horizon for you guys.
Very exciting. Thank you.
Go check everything out, you guys, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Not Too Deep. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, not too deep.
Too deep, too deep, too deep, not too deep with Grace Helbig.
Not Too Deep is a production of Grace Helbig Incorporated, producer Melissa D. Montz, edited by Shireen Lani Eunice, post-production sound by Chris Henry, and an extra special thanks to Flula for the theme music.